I'm Caitlin Bernard, an OBGYN from Indiana University, presenting our preliminary findings from the Chaguo Langu, or My Choice study. Women living with HIV have worse reproductive health outcomes than their uninfected counterparts. At the same time, antiretrovirals have potential reproductive health implications. For example, efavirenz reduces the effectiveness of contraceptive implants, and recent concerns arose for the teratogenicity with periconception dolutegravir use. Understanding how to best counsel women living with HIV around pregnancy and contraceptive options and preferences may improve shared decision-making and ultimately reproductive health outcomes. Additionally, COVID may have implications for difficulty in access to care and changes in decisions around both HIV and reproductive health care. This is a mixed method study aimed at understanding how concerns about potential teratogenicity of dolutegravir impacted its use among women of reproductive age with HIV living in Western Kenya. We analyzed electronic medical record data from women living with HIV of reproductive age who initiated dolutegravir at AMPATH-affiliated clinics. We also performed telephone interviews with a subset of these women, as well as qualitative in-depth interviews to understand the experiences of women who continued using dolutegravir, switched from dolutegravir to another antiretroviral therapy, and those who became pregnant while on dolutegravir after the findings of teratogenicity were reported. The telephone interview included the administration of the Desire to Avoid Pregnancy Scale to compare its outcomes to the dichotomous pregnancy intention screening question, "Are you trying to get pregnant now?" We found that 89% of women were not currently trying to get pregnant. However, more than 15% of these women nonetheless had a wide range of scores, indicating ambivalence and even positive feelings about a potential pregnancy. At the same time, more than 40% of the entire group were not using any contraceptive method, and the most commonly used method was condoms, one of the least effective. This indicates that further exploration of pregnancy preferences may be beneficial to help women effectively prevent or plan for healthy pregnancies. The telephone interviews also included questions about counseling received around potential reproductive health risks of dolutegravir and efavirenz. Only 33% of dolutegravir users reported receiving counseling about the potential teratogenicity, and only 13% of efavirenz users reported receiving counseling about the risk of drug-drug interactions with their contraceptive methods. We also evaluated measures of shared decision-making around both initiation of or changes in contraceptive methods, as well as changes in antiretroviral therapy regimen after the reported teratogenicity risk with dolutegravir. Overall, there were higher positive measures of shared decision-making for contraceptive care as compared to ART care. This was especially true for women who initiated or changed a contraceptive method compared to those who switched off of dolutegravir after the reported teratogenicity risks. This indicates there may be room for improved counseling and shared decision-making, particularly around antiretroviral therapy for women living with HIV. Once the COVID pandemic began, we added questions about concerns around access to HIV care, as well as family planning care. 32% reported greater difficulty refilling medications, and 14% reported difficulty getting care, both primarily due to stockouts and transportation issues. Few women reported difficulty managing their family planning care, all of which were due to contraceptive method stockouts. Most women reported no change in the likelihood of using family planning or their desire to get pregnant soon. However, qualitative interviewees consistently indicated concerns about the need to protect themselves from pregnancy due to the difficulties they would face due to economic challenges during the pandemic. Overall, we think it is important to continue to evaluate and understand how to improve our counseling around pregnancy preferences, contraceptive use, access to care, and the important interactions between HIV and reproductive health care for women living with HIV, and how the COVID pandemic may impact this. I want to thank my co-investigators from the University of Washington, Indiana University, Moy Teaching and Referral Hospital, University of Toronto, AMPATH, as well as our research coordinators and assistants.